All right, another big news tonight. Two different extremes on different sides of the country. Extreme fire danger has most of the inland Northwest under a red flag warning tonight. The strong winds and low humidity have the potential for existing fires to grow and new fires to spark.
Now on the other side of the country, there is Hurricane Ida that has now devastated most of the south. The intense rain and strong winds brought buildings down to rubble.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Thank you for being here. So that fast-moving wildfire is now prompting level 3 evacuations near Moscow, Idaho. So anyone who lives near Idler's Rest and Twin Roads needs to leave immediately. You can see a huge plume of smoke that it is putting out. We've got some video right there.
There you go right there. According to the city of Moscow, structures and significant land is currently burning. It is unclear right now how large it is burning. Fire crews are asking everyone not to fly drones in that area, but we'll make sure to keep you updated on this fire as soon as we receive new information. So
with that, we want to talk right now about the red flag warning that is in place. It has the potential now to create extreme fire danger all across the state. Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry joining us from the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Tom, on one hand, the cooler weather is nice, but that fire danger, it remains high tonight.
Yeah, it remains high through 9 o'clock tonight. All this area that you see that is shaded in red, and that includes the Spokane area. We're looking for gusty winds throughout the evening hours up through 9 p.m. Wind gusts up around 25 miles per hour. We've got a pretty steady wind right now out of the southwest at about 16 miles per hour. And you can see with the current temperature, we're at 79 degrees. Check that now. The wind out at the airport now out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. We're seeing some haze, though, that is beginning to move in. We had good air quality at about 4 p.m. By about 4:45, though, it degraded down to moderate air quality. Still okay, but you can see that we're getting a little bit more haze now with that wildfire smoke. AQI now checking in now at 56. When we take a look at the satellite and radar picture, again, we're not showing you any rain and very little in the way of cloud cover across the region. We'll look for an overnight low of 49 degrees, 70 the expected high tomorrow on Tuesday, because we're going to be getting a weak cool front moving through. We won't get much in the way of cloud cover or rain, but we'll certainly see some cooler temperatures. But as we head into that Labor Day weekend, my gosh, we're back to a great last weekend of summer, right? 81 degrees on Saturday, 80 on Sunday. I'll fill in the rest of the blanks with your 7-day outlook, all coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. Right now, more than 400,000 acres are burning all across the inland Northwest with 13 uncontained fires in Washington.
So let's get right to them. We begin with the Rooster Comb fire. This is the one burning in Wenatchee, now threatening at least 150 structures. That fire just started yesterday, but has now burned at least 200 acres, and it is prompting level 3 evacuations for several nearby communities. As of today, crews say they've got it just 10% contained.
Heading now to Okanogan County, where the Muckamuck fire is still prompting level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations tonight. It has burned now more than 13,000 acres. It's about 50% contained now. Crews do not expect the fire to be fully contained until mid-October.
Fire crews in Chelan County are making some progress against the 25-mile fire near Lake Chelan. It's currently 32% contained, but the fire has burned more than 11,000 acres since it started just 2 weeks ago. As of Friday, all evacuations, though, have been lowered to level 1.
Heading down to California now, where all of South Lake Tahoe has been ordered to evacuate as the Calder fire could move even faster due to winds. The 2-week-old wildfire has now burned more than 177,000 acres. Crews have it 14% contained. Take a look at that video. About 22,000 people live in South Lake Tahoe, and the area is typically full of tourists in the summertime. Right now, more than 650 homes have burned and other buildings have been destroyed. So far, 5 people have been hurt in that fire. Of course, there are a lot of fires burning that we didn't get the chance to get to tonight, so we made it easy for you to find the latest information. Just text us the word FIRE to 509-448-2000, and we'll send that link directly to your phone.
We have also now learned the circumstances surrounding the death of a Spokane County firefighter who died on duty last week.
On Thursday night, Lieutenant Cody Traber of District 9 died while fighting a wildland fire, and today we learned that he fell from a bridge near Highway 395 and Wandermere Road. Firefighters say Lieutenant Traber was dispatched to a reported wildland fire. When he and the other firefighters reached the area, the crew did not see any evidence of a fire, so they decided to move to the Wandermere Bridge for a better vantage point to search for the fire. That's when firefighters say Traber got out of the truck, and soon after he fell from the bridge.
Cody was a very outgoing person. He was a kind man. He was a family man. He had a sense of humor, and people just really enjoyed his presence and enjoyed being around him.
So the Board of Fire Commissioners and Fire District 9 firefighters attended the announcement today about the lieutenant's death. And while the crew that night did not locate the reported fire, the department logged the call as coming in with good intent, meaning they do not believe that it was a bogus call. All right, we want to take a live look now at Louisiana. This is where Hurricane Ida ripped through New Orleans on the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. It's now tied for the strongest wind gust in Louisiana state history. A
little bit of a calmer scene there today. Ida has been downgraded now to a tropical storm after it tore up parts of Louisiana and Mississippi for 16 hours. Evan Narani from our sister station in San Diego is outside New Orleans at an apartment complex that burned to the ground after a fire.
Today, residents across New Orleans and the state of Louisiana are seeing the aftermath and the damage caused by Hurricane Ida. One of the areas that we've been at today is this apartment complex in Kenner, about 10 minutes outside of New Orleans, where fire officials say someone tried to use a generator inside of their apartment, and that potentially was the cause of this fire. They say they're still investigating that, but in total, 24 units burnt to the ground here after this fire began. It is estimated that across New Orleans, about 1 million people are still without power more than 24 hours after this hurricane passed through. Winds at about 140 miles an hour. This hurricane made landfall as a Category 4 storm. We were here in New Orleans at our hotel room when this hurricane passed through. At the time, emergency services said they wouldn't be able to respond to people, and that's exactly what happened here when this fire began as the storm was passing. The people who evacuated, the mayor of New Orleans says, do not return to New Orleans quite yet. They are still responding to flooding and people who were trapped in their homes. They're still responding to about 1 million people without power, and they say that is going to continue over the next 2, maybe even 3 weeks here in New Orleans. Now, another thing to note is that so far the death toll is at about 2 people. They say that number is expected to rise because they are still trying to investigate and respond to those calls that came in as Hurricane Ida was passing through. Outside of New Orleans, I'm Evan Narani, KREM 2 News.
And to help with the storm's aftermath, team members from the local nonprofit Impact Northwest are on their way to New Orleans right now.
So they left SeaTac Airport yesterday morning for Houston, making a 350-mile drive then to New Orleans. Olivia Weeks is a nurse, and in the car with her is Jake, the executive director of Impact Northwest, and Greg, a Seattle firefighter. That group is trained for technical search and rescue, which means they're prepared to help those who could not evacuate Ida in time.
Cliche, but it's not about us, it's about them. Pretty much we just focus on us, make sure that we're okay so that we can go out and help them.
Said her crew is an assessment team, which means there are other volunteers with Impact Northwest ready to hop on a plane and help if they are needed.
Back here in Spokane, the Martin Woldson Theater at the Fox announcing new COVID-19 requirements today. They'll apply to Spokane Symphony shows that are going to be at the Fox, as well as the Fox Presents concert and event series. So starting next Tuesday, September 7th, anyone 12 years old or older will have to have proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID-19 test to attend one of those shows. If you're going to be using the test, then it has to be from within 48 hours of the start of the show. Masks will also be required for anyone older than 5. According to the executive director of the symphony, the move comes as just a way to make concert goers feel safer.
You know, as we all know, it's an ongoing, unfolding situation, and our priority is to ensure the health and safety of everybody, musicians, ushers, staff, and of course our audiences.
So one thing to note, these requirements only apply to Spokane Symphony events and other shows run by the Fox Theater. Events that are organized by other parties but held at the Fox can still set their own requirements for attendance. This decision coming just weeks before the start of this year's Spokane Symphony season on September 18th.
Meantime, staggering hospitalization numbers today from Spokane Regional Health. 219 people are currently hospitalized in our county. 291 new cases were also reported today. 5 new deaths were also reported today. The health district says a little more than 52% of Spokane County residents are now fully vaccinated. And
as we head to North Idaho, where the Panhandle Health District is now reporting 316 new cases today. Hospitalizations there are also high, with 102 people currently in the hospital due to the virus. 358 people have died in North Idaho since the start of this pandemic.
Well, still ahead, the Spokane City Council is meeting tonight to discuss issues like homelessness and city parking. Our political reporter, Casey Decker, is monitoring the meeting so you know what elected officials are up to.
Plus, later, the last U.S. troops have officially left Afghanistan. So what happens next? We're back after the break.